What is up guys, Sporadically here. I know, again, it's been a very long time, but today we are going to continue our journey of artificially aging a couple of helmets. We started with the M38 Fallschirmjäger helmet, which we painted and sort of aged in the previous video. Well, we aged the inside and the liner and stuff. But I've been thinking about that, and I've decided to keep it as is for display in my bedroom and in my personal collection. Now, I recently got this relic restored helmet for free a couple of weeks ago from a family member of mine. So I thought, why not make this into an artificially aged example? Let's say this helmet was lost for 50 or 60 years, or even 70, and somebody with a metal detector came across it in the woods. That is what we are going to try to replicate today with this shell, some paint, and a few beers. So let's go. Now, first impressions of this shell. The outside paint is fairly accurate compared to original ones, well, later war ones at least, and we can see that this is clearly an M40 helmet because the vent holes are stamped together with the rest of the helmet and are not separate pieces like the M35. We can also see that this is an M40 and not, for example, an M42 by the rolled edge in here, because only M35 and M40 helmets have this rolled edge, which is why you will see a much sharper edge sticking out of the M42 models. We can also see the post-war paint in here, which is quite horrendous in my own opinion, and we can also see, if it will focus, the pitting underneath, which indicates that this was at one point a relic shell. Now, the fact that this has probably been treated with filler kind of worries me a little bit, because this stuff does not oxidize and rust like the rest of the helmet would, which is why we're going to sand down a few of the parts back to bare metal before we stick this into the ground. Yes, we're going to stick it into the ground, because that is the most natural aging process. Other than that, we're going to start with a little bit of acetone in here to get the inside back into bare metal and get this horrendous paint out of here. And then we're going to spray paint the outside and apply a decal together with some liner pins. So yeah, let's go. But before we do that, a quick word from our sponsor. No one. Cheers. Well, we got the helmet a little bit cleaned up, and now we're gonna rough it up again. I'm gonna take some sandpaper and go over the outside here so that the paint has a surface to stick on. I'm gonna paint it in Felground. I'm gonna put in split pins in all three holes so that it would look from the outside that it has a liner. And then I'm gonna apply an SS decal on the right side here. So bear with me. Alright, so we're about 14 hours later now, and the decal has had a chance to dry, and it is looking very good. You can see all the little pieces of aluminum oxide underneath there. And the helmet itself has a rough texture feel, which is nice. Now we are going to rough up the shell a little bit to simulate wear and tear, and then we're going to paint this with camo colors. And after some light scuffing, kicking, sanding and whatnot, it's actually starting to look pretty good. I've also treated it with some Ballistol, which is basically gun oil, like WD-40, and it is beginning to look very nice. Now the next step is the camo paint. Now for painting the helmet itself, I'm going to use two colors and this paintbrush. I will be using a darker sandy yellow and mud brown. I'm also going to use this paintbrush to basically dot and drizzle a little bit of the paint over it to give this the effect that it was painted with the brush itself. So let's do that now. Now, it's got a brand new layer of camouflage paint, which is very nice, but it looks too new. It's got 0 scratches on the paint itself, and we're going to change that before we stick it into the ground. Voila! This is already looking a lot better. Some of the scratches are even down to bare metal, which is great for oxidation and rusting. So now, let's get us a shovel and bury this thing. Right over there. You can see that this ground is very wet, which is ideal for us because we want to rust this thing as much and as fast as we possibly can. So this is our helmet. It is Sunday, May 9th, 2021, and now we're gonna paint. See you in a couple of months, man. Voila! I hope you guys enjoyed this short little part 2 video of our small series, and I'm gonna get back to you with this helmet as soon as I can. Until then, Water Detector's here, over and out.